Hi beautiful souls, welcome back to the channel, Beautiful Awakening with Shantia. Welcome to another pick a card reading with me. So in today's pick a card reading, we're going to be looking into some practical magic advice. Now, when I was channeling off the camera and meditating for each of the groups, I wasn't quite getting practical advice. I was actually getting quite psychedelic stuff, so we're going to have to see whatever wants to come through for this reading, and then maybe we can glean some practical advice when I can bring it all together. So I'm excited for us to do this reading today. I decided to go with this sort of witchy vibe, energy. And yeah, it was so funny. I put it together and I'm like, oh, this is really cute setup. I should use this every single time. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out on my other channel. I just released the New Earth, Birthing the New Earth video for talking about Pluto and Capricorn, Uranus and Taurus, according to sidereal Vedic Astrology. It shifted there. Pluto shifted into Capricorn in 2020. And I go into depth talking about that larger shift that we are being called to be a part of and what it's going to take for us to build this new earth and start birthing that new earth. I've also released some shorts. I did one on K2 in Falguni if you guys are interested in checking that out. I don't know if by the time I upload this, but I plan on uploading a new podcast as well where I just kind of talk about things that are going on in my life. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a beautiful time or day whenever you're watching this. Let's just go ahead and get started with introducing the groups. Group number 1, you have this witchy blending blender recipe. Group number 2, you have the psychedelic Cauldron with the purple backdrop. And group number 3, you have the illustrious golden telescope with the blue backdrop. Let us go ahead and start your meditation. Here is your singing bowl. All right, group number 1, if you chose the witchy blending blender concoction here with the green backdrop, we're going to go ahead and start with you. Hey, group number 1, welcome to your reading. So I'm just going to go ahead and share what I picked up from my notes, meditating off of the screen. All right, so this is what I was picking up for you guys. So we had a blender. Yeah, that was the first thing I actually saw, and I wasn't sure if that's what wanted to come through, but when I kept meditating on your group, that's what kept coming through was the blender theme, which was interesting. The next thing I was seeing was a birth canal or a womb, and it felt like movement, energy, something's moving, and then I also saw a horse, and the horse to me was symbolic of keep going, keep moving. So if there is some practical magic advice for you, keep blending. I think it's also, just looking at this oracle card design, it feels fun, it feels experimental as well. So I think you're being asked to just explore things that are of your interest during this period, to try things out, and just also flow with the energy as well, because to me, the blending energy that they are showing me is supposed to be a representation of your energy and how your energy is blending, which means that you're finding a way to flow and maybe adapt and work with your environment, energies, things around you. And it seems like because we're getting a lot of green here, it seems like you're able to access the abundance of Mother Earth. So I feel like you, group number 1, are really working closely to tune in, or you're tuning into that resonance or that frequency of Mother Earth that's helping you to stay grounded. That might also be the advice, is to tune in with Mother Earth. This could be through relaxation, meditation. It could be cooking with herbs, using your hands could be a really great way for you to tune in. Yeah, but it looks like you're in a, well, let me just put this to the side here, in a generally experimental place in your life right now where you're learning a lot and it's reaping abundant rewards. But a blender, usually whenever someone's making some sort of blended concoction, it's for the sake of them being able to enjoy it. And usually we put nutrients in a blender, typically, right? Yeah, I know some of us like those shakes, milkshakes, but in this case, because we're getting green, I'm seeing an herbal concoction that's here to feed you nutrients. So that's really beautiful. Maybe you're also experimenting, learning how to cook for yourself, eat better, take care of yourself better, see what works, is what I'm hearing. But other than that, just keep working. I was hearing that the specifics are not as important as the essence. So the blender, to me, because everything's mashed up in there, I feel like Source is just telling you don't fixate too much on specific results or things needing to look a specific way because you're in a time of experimentation. And it's more of the essence or the intention behind it that's the most important thing. And whenever I'm seeing food mashed up, it makes me think of baby food. So that makes, because I'm getting multiple references to the womb and the baby, I feel like this is because you're in a really, you're in that early initial phase where you're learning how to eat, right? You're learning how to consume nutrients that are better for you. When I did my 2025 yearly reading forecast, that was one of the things I picked up. And I remember it was group number 1, I saw a horse eating. And I remember there were a few people in the comment section saying, well, this is not my life. Or I don't know, maybe they took some of the storylines behind the X-Men women too literally. But interestingly enough, this has been the challenge of many people this year, especially if you're rising into those higher states of consciousness, is that challenge to make sure you're trusting that your abundance will be provided for. So yeah, I was seeing the energy was fast spinning. I think that's energetically what's happening. I saw something pop up on my feed how I'm actually shooting this on the 5th of August, but someone was saying that the 5th of August is like the fastest day or something like that because of the weird spin of the earth. So who knows? Maybe that has something to do with. I was also getting a reference to a spiral and the 8 of Wands energy moving forward and rapid change. So there's a lot of rapid change happening in your life. Just go with it. All right, so we have the amethyst. Let me just meditate or scry with this and let's see if I can pick up anything for you. Yeah, I'm getting a bit of warrior. Yeah, I'm getting a warrior energy, fierce energy. But it feels like if I were to rank this person, it looks like a colonel or someone who has experience in the war. Someone who knows what to do or who knows how to strategize, because it feels like a higher rank above a enlisted soldier who's starting for the first time. So there might be some reference to spiritual, being a warrior, and pushing through that we're picking up. Yeah, and I'm seeing that you're receiving a lot of downloads. Like I'm seeing all of this energy being sucked up into your crown area and just like coming down into you. And it's a lot. It's like, it's a kind of energy that someone would have to consciously mature. The soul would have to be at a certain level to mature into receiving this. And I think this is yours to receive if you're open to it. Keep an open mind. May be the advice there. Let me see what else. Okay. Yeah, a lot of energy again. I keep getting that. Blended energy. A lot of things, just a lot going on underneath the surface. So that could be the Pluto and Capricorn. There's just a lot going on underneath the surface, I see. It's like, this is going to sound a little dark and twisted. It's like all your bones are breaking and restructuring to move into other spaces and places. It's kind of taking me to, I don't know, I think they've had some scenes like that or characters like that in Harry Potter. I wasn't into Harry Potter like that I know the characters so thoroughly. But I'm seeing like some inner restructuring that happen. It's pretty intense. It's like a transformer, but like it's like 20 dimensions kind of thing. It's like all of these moving parts happening all at once. So yeah, you might be feeling that, and they just want you to go with it, flow with it. In this oracle card design, the blender is staying steady while all of this blending is happening. So just let the blending happen. All right, so let's just go ahead and pull some cards, see what wants to come through for your practical magic advice. Okay. So you have the Hierophant. Yeah, knowledge, divine knowledge coming through. We have here the King of Swords. Okay. Yeah, I was seeing that. All that information coming in. So, yeah, there's a lot of powerful knowledge coming through. Your practical knowledge is to learn right now. You are in school. You're in school. Yeah, I love it. It's like a herbal store. She's like selling these things to this woman. That's cute. And she's got some plants around. So cute. I love that. Okay. You guys are being prepped just with knowledge and information to... You're basically rising into higher states of consciousness. I didn't really talk about it, but the amethyst is like an intuitive psychic crystal here. Very intuitive, very... So you're in this place, definitely level 5 of consciousness. That's the receiver, being receptive to the knowledge or the higher knowledge. Level 6 is applying that knowledge and then learning how to master it. And then level 7 is like surrendering. But I'm definitely seeing someone who's studying. You know, even she has a piece of paper here. So you're in a place of study right now. And you're just comparing and contrasting your notes. You might be resonating with other people who are doing similar research or learning similar things or sharing similar messages. And I see that I'm seeing someone going through their notes and like crossing things off and like, oh, okay, this works. And then this doesn't work. And then this works and this doesn't work. So yeah. The practical knowledge is just to receive this divine knowledge, insight, and wisdom from source, to stay committed and devoted to the work. You got King here. So some of you are quite mature in your ability to receive knowledge, apply it, and understand it here with the King. That's telling me that source trusts that you know what to do with it. You're quite practical or devoted, consistent, realistic in how you go about things. I'm hearing trust yourself. Yeah, I'm hearing trust yourself. Like you have a good head on your shoulders. Trust yourself in your capabilities and what you think, what you can do. Because I'm seeing like even with this graph chart behind her, the sky is the limit with what you're able to receive. So I think they just want you to have a bit more confidence in what you're receiving and just continuously do the work. If you're like learning, you're doing any higher knowledge, like ninth house stuff, schooling of some sort, that could be related to it. But, you know, this channel is, it's called Beautiful Awakening for a reason. You know, this is here to help you awaken from the systems. And technically school is a system, but the divine school is not tangible. You know, you can't hold it or grasp it. It's just something you experience in your heart and your soul. Yeah, and I'm seeing community as well. So there could be people who you're finding that you're like, oh, okay, this kind of makes sense. But I'm seeing peers, okay? So don't ever put someone higher above you where you think that you take their knowledge for the utmost word. Like, question everything. Okay, let's see. Pull one from here. There we go. We got a pentacle. There's some practicality. We got practical magic. I love that. We got the priests and the Page of Pentacles. yeah, so that's student energy. That's about like, this is application of the knowledge. So yeah, you might be able to access infinite knowledge, but the application of it is so new to you because you're in a human body. So it takes time for us to apply new knowledge and consistency, commitment to something. And you're in an experimental phase where you're trying out something different. I feel like your ability to receive isn't necessarily something new, because you are born with the consciousness that you're born with, at least level 5 here. But the practicality in terms of how you're able to apply it, you're still learning how it works, essentially, how you work. Okay, let's go ahead and see. Yeah, so, if you're in a space where you're like, okay, I'm trying to find a job, or I'm trying to find like more resources or access to it, you're in a learning phase right now. So this is just a really good time to experiment and not to have any high expectations, manage your expectations about what can come to you. This is the time to just put in the work and let go of the results and trust that, things will just work out. They really want you to focus on, with this Fire Guardian, focus on your passion. Do the thing that you really want to do, that you feel called to do, that feels true to you, that feels right to you. Follow your passion. Follow things that are of interest to you. Instead of trying to, be overly practical, with the King of Swords and the Page of Pentacles, there's strong practicality here. We got a little bit of father energy coming through with these cards. So it's like, on a practical sense, I feel like you very much grew up on this planet where you were taught, oh, this is how you do things. But like learning how to let go of that excessive practicality and welcoming more of that magic can be quite challenging. Yeah, this feels like very practical energy coming through for this group. Okay, let me just pull a couple more cards for you. So we got here the Central Sun, abundance, downloads, regeneration, success. Yeah. So you're receiving an abundance of downloads here. They're just coming down into you. Maybe you feel like you're receiving this from the sun. Maybe you feel connected to the sun. The sun is your soul. So that means you're gathering all the parts of your soul, and it's all kind of coming together. And this is helping you to regenerate your energy. I've talked about this before. Regeneration is about redirecting your life force energy back to yourself, as opposed to giving it to other people and other things outside of yourself. And this is where you'll find the true meaning and understanding of success here, is when you feel whole and complete in yourself. So this is what you're on the path to learning. It's how can you feel more whole and complete within yourself. Okay. Let's see. Should I put this here? Like, how are we doing in this rather tight space here? Okay, we got here solar plexus, yoga poses. Nice. So solar plexus connected to the sun, and then we get that fire too. Nice. So you have a creative passion. They're definitely telling you to direct your creative passion towards the things that you want to make and create in this world. And just don't have this expectation that it's supposed to produce resources for you or whatever. What's more important for them is that you gain the knowledge first, and then you apply it consistently so that you can learn how to slowly master it, or just slowly become more attuned with it. We have here the solar plexus. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay. So practical magic coming through, you're in a space of building your sense of confidence and a strong sense of direction, what you feel called to do on this earth here, what feels right for you. And you're learning how to step into a place of independence so that you're letting go of this reliance of, what you were taught, what programming you were taught that swayed you towards, maybe even misguided you towards thinking, oh, I can't follow my passion. But they're definitely saying to ignite your passion and to trust yourself. I already said that multiple times, and this is just confirming it. Confirmation here. So the solar plexus Manipura, this chakra is located at the navel. Its function is to give you movement to move forward and realize your desires and intentions. there you go. So, I was seeing the horse moving forward, making progress, and I was getting Eight of Wands energy. So just move forward, with your desires, your intentions, what feels right to you. And it says here, to warm the body and connect with your fiery energy. Try sun salutations. Boat pose is also great for strengthening the abdominal muscles and balancing digestion. Okay, so go look up boat pose. That's your assignment for your practical magic advice here. And then do sun salutations where, I don't know, you could sit under the sun, soak it up. You can look at it. People do sun gazing. I don't know if I want to do all that, but I think I've tried it a few times. Yeah, but be out in the sun. The sun is so beautiful. At least give yourself a couple minutes in it. If I don't know what temperatures you're experiencing where you're at, but I would say give it a little bit of your attention and time. Let's go ahead and roll the ash dice. We'll close this out for you. Oh, look at that. Practical. Wow, they really did listen to that. I was like, are they going to give me practical knowledge? They are. Okay, we have your Jupiter in Virgo in the 7th house. Nice. Okay. Jupiter. So again, that's connected to the Hierophant, the priest. Virgo here is about routine, discipline, practice, and routine. Just like putting your money where your mouth is, putting to practice what you're learning. That's what I'm getting here. 7th house is about finding a balance that works for you, right? So you can think of that as masculine, feminine energy, your approach to things. For some of you, if you're asking about connections or you're questioning something about connections here, I think the advice would be to surround yourself with people who are grounded here with that Virgo energy. Surround yourself with people who are grounded and have a healthy sense of self and who are consistent. And if that person shows you their consistency and how they connect with you and whatnot, then you can see that they are genuinely committed. Virgo is that energy of commitment as well. Yeah. And this should be someone who, with that Jupiterian energy, someone you can learn from like as a peer. People who you can learn from, who see you as an equal, who don't talk at you, but talk with you, who are collaborative. That's the best kind of energy to create harmonizing experiences with. But otherwise, Virgo can be a purification energy. It can be about purifying, your mind, purifying the mind. There we got the King of Swords. So purifying your mind with the knowledge that you're receiving. Beautiful. So we'll end it on that note. The knowledge that you're receiving is helping to purify your mind. So just continue to do that, because as your mind becomes more and more pure, it clarifies for you what you're here to do. It also clarifies how you're here to be of service with that Virgo. It's like, oh, how can I be of service? And honestly, it looks like you can be of service with your insight, your wisdom, your knowledge. This is the Jupiterian energy, the teacher, the guru. So you have some practical magic knowledge that you can be giving people here. That's what I'm seeing. So just follow your heart and just do what feels natural to you. If you feel called to create a business or whatever, do what feels natural to you. That's going to be the end of your reading here, group number 1. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, subscribe to support. I will see you next time. Bye. Hey group 2, welcome to your reading. If you chose the psychedelic Cauldron with the purple backdrop, why did I say that? I don't know. With the purple backdrop, then this is going to be the reading for you. All right, so I'm just going to share some of my notes and also stare at this lovely oracle card design that wanted to come through for your reading. Now, I said psychedelic for a reason. That's the energy I was picking up for you, group number 2. I was getting this really psychedelic energy, and just looking at this illustration here, it looks really fun. Like, this is the time to be having fun, okay? Spirit is giving you advice straight up, and they're like, time to have fun, okay? It's time for you to have fun mixing and creating your magic potions of the sort, and, using all this beautiful herbal earth magic. You're surrounded, group 2. I'm picking up very strongly. You're surrounded with lots of earth magic that you're able to tune into here. And this world, it feels like your playground. So play. Yeah, so I was seeing psychedelic energy, a mixture. I got this weird kind of design. If you want to be very experimental with art or how you're trying things out, this is the time to do it. You know, that's what Source is straight up saying for you, group number 2. Whatever it is that you're interested in, even if you haven't done it before, just do it. Try it out. See what happens. We have here, so I saw 7. 7 is divinity. We got purple, which I also like to connect to that energy of divine energy as well. So it feels as though you guys really tune into that higher divine knowledge or that magic very well. If you feel like you don't, the advice is for you to connect with that part of yourself that is feels magic, feels, senses, sees it, picks it up. And I feel like Source is also giving you permission, because I was seeing a rotating baby surrounded by feathers. I feel as though Source wants you to know you're divinely protected and that you're safe to be free. You're safe to be yourself and to express yourself as well, however you feel called to. So I was picking up lots of energy and movement. This may be happening inside of you. Lots of ideas, shifts and changes, inspiration coming through. They definitely want you to go with it. Go over your inspiration wants to take you. And concoct those mixtures. It makes me think of when I was a little girl and I would play with my neighbor, and we would find plants around, and we would just put the plants in the water, and we would be like, oh my gosh, this is soup. We would make our own pretend stuff. Or when I was a kid and I would experiment with herbs. Yeah. I remember I would go into the pantry or whatever. I would take some herbs, put in some water, and be like, ooh, I made a concoction. And then you would taste it and you're like, oh, this tastes horrible. I'm having a flashback to drinking just nutmeg and water, and it did not taste that great. Okay. Yeah, really fun, swirly magic, playful energies coming through here. Okay, let me go ahead and look at this moss agate and see what I'm picking up for you. Oh, cute. It's I'm seeing a child go hunting. He's on his hunting. It's giving me child vibes, and he's hunting in the wilderness, and he's on his adventure. Having an adventure. But I'm also seeing that this child is surrounded by divine spirits, wise spirits that are guiding it through the forests. That's beautiful. See, maybe that's the baby with the feathers reference I was picking up. Yeah, and I'm seeing a divine feminine energy strong here. It's watching after. I'm seeing multiple energies, but yeah, you guys are being watched after. We all are. But I think this is what they want you to trust in, because maybe sometimes you just feel like you're alone and you're under the illusion that you're alone, and they just want you to know you're not alone. You're definitely surrounded. It seems like you're going on this adventure alone. I think you need to maybe carve out some moments, again, to tune into that magic and be like, and let that little bit of joy come back to you. Oh my gosh. I kind of feel like I don't know that I ever lose the joy, because the magic is there, but I think sometimes I lose sight of it. And I'm going through things and I'm like, this all sucks. And you just forget about that little, it feels like joy. That's what I'm feeling inside of me. It feels like sometimes we just disconnect from our joy. Yeah, I'm feeling like it here. We disconnect from our joy, and we forget what it was like to just be carefree and happy. So definitely give yourself more permission to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some cards for your practical magic advice. Okay. Okay. We got here the Page of Cups. There we go. Divine Child Magic. And we have here the Six of Swords. Yeah, like going from darkness to the light. So I think sometimes we see the Six of Swords as a transition. You are in probably a huge transition space in your life, especially if they're showing me a Page of Cups and babies. It usually means that you're at a beginning phase of something, or something's ending, or, you know, you're right in that transition or in between phase of things shifting into a new dynamic for yourself. And this is just a time, it's tricky, but this is the time for us to explore that. You know, we're being given this buffer, this time of buffer, and sometimes people just want things to happen, but we're being given a time of buffer for a reason. We need it to rest, to recuperate. Let's say the earth is evolving, which it is. We all are, and it's moving into higher frequencies. We need that transition space to be able to handle that shift in those higher frequencies. We can't just take them on because we're in this human form and it's limited in the way that it experiences those frequencies. So that's what I'm seeing. But with the Six of Swords, it's also a choice, right? Choosing your joy over choosing your past, choosing your joy over choosing your pain. You know, some part of our brain is hardwired for pain, but it can be overridden. It can be transcended through finding your dharma, your life purpose, focusing on your passion. There's a whole list of things as far as practical magic advice goes. There's a whole list of things that can help us stay focused on our joy and be reminded of our joy and how to connect to it and why it's so important. Because we're not meant to stay in depressive states. And usually we find ourselves in depressive states because things are changing. We're having to let go of things that we liked. And it's a bit of a painful... Change is painful. Generally, change is painful. The ones who take change the easiest are kids because they don't have all of those attachments to people yet or whatever. They're just constantly experiencing life as new and renewed again. And you're being asked to, with the Page of Cups here, you're being asked to accept or receive that energy of renewal and just be open to anything. Like anything can happen any day. You know, just imagine you're a kid and you're living with your parents and your parents can just up and move to Japan or they can just up and move to Germany. You just don't know. You know, either way, it's going to be an adventure for you. You're going to be eternally optimistic about what is to come. And that's what they're telling you to do, is just be eternally optimistic for anything that can happen, because this change isn't happening so that it can bring pain. And there's some part of us in our brain and our psyche when change starts to happen that tells us it's not a good one. That we should resist it because we're hardwired that way as humans. You know, we want things to stay the same. And so when change comes knocking on the door, we're just like, no, 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 no. I don't want that. But they're trying to tell you that it's a good change, and all change is good. Doesn't mean that life is never stagnant or boring. Yeah, and it looks like she's running along with this fairy. Cool. And having her adventure. And she doesn't care if there's like a dark storm behind her. She's like, let's go. She's focused on the light. Okay, we have here Four of Swords. Yeah, so carve out those moments of reprieve and quiet for you, of stillness for you, meditation, rest. This is going to be important for you to just tune in, let your mind rest, because what's happening is there's probably a lot of shifts and changes that are happening in your life, and your mind is just reacting to the situation, and you're just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And Source is like, you know, just relax, carve out time for your mind to rest. Find certain things or activities that help you to just feel like really tuned in and peaceful. Whatever helps you to feel peaceful, whether that's being in nature or meditating or sitting in stillness or just focusing on crafting something of the sort. Keep it simple. Find a way to keep things more simple so that your mind can rest. Because yes, naturally we react when things are happening in our life, and we're just like, and they're just saying, you know, it's going to be okay. Your mind is just hardwired to react because, you know, survival mode thing. Okay, we have here Yeah, direction guardian. So you get to choose your path here with the swords. And it's really simple as far as what direction you go in. You're only asked to go in one direction. Just like the band. The only direction you're being called to go in is the one that feels the most honest and true to you. That's it. There's only one direction to go in, and that's the one that you choose, whatever that is, that feels true to you. So they're asking you to trust your inner compass to guide you. You know, you are moving through the forest, which means you're moving through unknown lands. You're moving through unknown lands. This is an obscure forest. You have not been in this forest before. It is foreign. It is different. And if you see it from your childlike lens or from a pure sense of magic in you, the being who does not age sees it as, it just observes it. It just takes it all in without needing to label it and to conceptualize what this is. So find some sort of practice. Try to carve out a practice for you to welcome the attunement with magic. You know, I'm getting strong Eckhart Tolle vibes in this reading. You know, when he's just staring out in nature and he's just so like, he's just so in his pure state when he's just out there in nature and he's just so connected to the present moment. So definitely what I'm picking up for you guys. All right, we have here Venusian Galactic Council, star being guides, answer the call, time to shine. Yeah, so wherever you're being called to, you're being called to be yourself. You're being called to shine, to glow. Here, to follow your heart with that Venusian Galactic Council, do what feels right. You're being guided here, star being guides. You're being guided. The universe is in you, so you're being called. Right? You're being called to move in a certain direction. You're being called to move towards what feels right and true for you. And this is what they want you to do. Answer the call, time to shine. There you go. There's your advice. Answer the call, time to shine. All right. We have here throat chakra, key concepts. This chakra is associated with communication, expression, voice, and honesty. This chakra's color is blue, and its element is ether or space. Wonderful. So it looks like, you know, even when you are resting, maybe even when you're sleeping, you're receiving a lot of insights and messages for what is to come. Maybe even in the painful experiences, you're actually receiving messages, and we actually do get messages through pain. So pain isn't like just bad. We receive messages through pain. It's part of our human experience, and there's a reason why it's designed that way. We are actually designed to receive insight and knowledge from pain. And this is helping you to have a honest self-expression here with the Page of Cups that wants to come through. Like, how would you like to express yourself that just feels so pure and honest and direct, and it's not filtered? What wants to come through? You know, we got ether and space. And wasn't I seeing space? Yeah, because when I was thinking of the compass, I was thinking about the stars in the sky. Or, no, it says here, star being guides. And I was thinking about the stars in the sky and stars guiding us. So, yeah, space. It's like, yeah, you can move through anything and find your way. I'll pull one more. Whoa, almost flew over. We have here solar plexus affirmations. I honor the power within me. I honor myself. Did you see the way that card flew out? It flew out like it really needed you to know this. I honor the power within me. I honor myself. Yeah, this is a very important message to come through, because even in the New Age community, even though people have that intention to want to help people, people still think that they have to give their power, their energy to an intermediary source, when really they should be tuning into their self. So if you honor yourself and you honor the power within you, then you can feel confident to do what you feel is right for you. So what this is telling me is that you're born with an inherent knowing and of your true self and what you are and who you are and where you're being called to go in life. And everything else is just like, if you feel confusion, it's because it's a filter or it's a programming. The truth is not confusing. The truth is just very direct, and it's just so direct, and it's clear, and you just feel it, you just know it. There's no need to argue with it. Any kind of arguing that we do within ourselves in our heads is usually us trying to argue to hold on to the past, or hold on to an idea that we were taught, or hold on to an egoic construct that's telling us to be right versus being honest. So, yes. Trust that clarity that comes through within you. And yeah, that Venusian energy is also connecting us to self-expression as well. Shine. It's your time to shine. Oh, look, you guys got Venus in Taurus, its own sign. That's awesome. And in the 5th house of self-expression. Okay. Well, they're just saying what I'm saying. Or yeah. I channeled what they wanted me to say. So yeah, Venus in Taurus in the 5th house. Okay. So yeah, what the practical magic is, go do your own creative thing that you feel called to do, that feels true to you. Taurus is about consistency, consistently applying what we want to do, finding a practical application to something that we want to do. And this is important. We're here to be here on Earth. It doesn't do anything. Like, if you're just channeling the divine guidance behind closed doors, that's cool. But they tell you to apply it to your life. You don't have to go on a world stage and share it with everybody, but you can still make something with it, because they're not giving you all that information for you to sit still. A lot of you have some like powerful creative ideas that are coming through you during this time that just want to come out. And this is the time for you to explore, see what it is, be selfish, do what, with that 5th house, that's self-expression. Do what you feel like you want to do. This is a time for you to focus on what you love, what you want to do. And that's what needs to be done. Okay, we're going to go ahead and end it there. Group number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, subscribe to support, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey, group number 3, welcome to your reading. So you guys chose the lustrous golden telescope with the blue backdrop. Let's go ahead and dive into what I was picking up for your group. Okay, so the one thing I got for your group was I got mitosis. So I was seeing a multiplication of something, and that's why I decided to choose the telescope, because I saw the mitosis. So mitosis is essentially cell multiplication, when a cell divides and it multiplies itself. There's some sort of multiplication happening in your life, multiplication of energy, excitement, things growing, something's growing. Some kind of growth is happening in your life. When I'm looking at this telescope, the first thing, the telescope looks really cool. It looks sort of vintage, but it also looks really expansive. And I feel like the telescope is a representative of your clear insights and you learning how to pay attention to the details. So right now, your practical advice is also to pay attention to the details. Pay attention to what's happening on the microscopic level. That means that there's a lot of change that's probably happening underneath the surface that you cannot see, that's going to pay off in the long run, and then you will see it. You'll see more of a physical manifestation, representation of it, or you will feel different. You're going to feel different. With this butterfly transformation, you are going to feel different, like you've changed. And that's my recommendation, is to pay attention and to tune into how you're shifting, as opposed to maybe the advice is maybe you're looking too much to the external to confirm what's going on inside of you, and you're needing that external validation, which is a very human trait. It's for us to want that external validation, but you're definitely being reminded to go back inward and to tune in and see what is happening, but also pay attention to the details of your life. Pay attention to how everything's unfolding. That's actually going to give you more than enough confirmation that you're needing. We have the mushrooms at the bottom. So mushrooms are usually symbolic of the fungi or the underworld. So that's like those things that are happening underneath the surface, behind the scenes. That's that Pluto and Capricorn energy, or just Pluto wherever it's sitting in your chart. 12th house and 8th house, 4th house as well. It's that hidden emotional energy and insight happening within you. Yeah, I mean, this feels powerful. This feels like a personal self-discovery journey that you're on right now, where you're learning about yourself and, you know, what is who you are. It's like studying your DNA and studying, oh my gosh, I have this kind of DNA. This is incredible. So you're in a space of like really learning more about yourself and who you are and what you're capable of. Okay. Let me go ahead and scribe with the selenite heart here, and we'll see what wants to come through for you. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm hearing bravery. It's a combination of bravery and receptivity, because I'm seeing someone with their arms wide open and they're just open to what wants to come towards them, but it also feels a bit masculine as well. You know, usually a feminine energy is a bit softer. This masculine energy feels a bit more assertive. So I think maybe Source is also encouraging you to be assertive with what you want to do, what you want to do. Or just assertive, feel more assertive or strong or empowered in yourself. Like, yes. Yes. Okay, let's see what else I'm picking up here. Yeah, I'm hearing, it's like a hum vibration noise, like alien speaking or something coming through. So as far as like resonance and frequency goes, this person I was seeing, they're part of that frequency, or they're connected to it. Their head is connected to it. So it could be like crown chakra is connected to those. I'm hearing like Schumann resonance, like they're connected to that resonance. They're plugged in. Their head is like plugged into the wall, which is kind of funny to look at here. So this is like a wall, and then I'm seeing like a head here that's plugged into it. Yeah, and I feel like this feels like the energy of someone soaking up something, and they're like, wow, this feels good. This feels good to know this, to tune into this. It feels really nice. Yeah, and I'm getting like communication as well of energies back and forth. Yeah, I think, you know, even though we're human, there's some part of us that really knows how to connect to source, and it's just like, you're my mom and daddy, my sister, brother, like when that part of ourself connects with source, it just feels so natural. And it has no label, you know, it's not a mother, son, father, daughter relationship. It's none of those things. There's nothing that compares to the love of the divine here. It's very peaceful. You know, that's what selenite can take us to. It's very peaceful. It's very relaxing. And that's how you know you're connecting to source, because it's just so natural, so easy. It's not forced. It doesn't take like this intense ritual devotion, commitment, craziness going on. It really is just like the most natural thing ever. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull some cards for you guys and see what wants to come through. Okay, we have here the Knight of Swords. Yeah, so that feels like communication. Yeah, we got here Sun and Three of Swords. Oh no. Yeah, so that's the advice, is to have more confidence in yourself. And I'm hearing your mind is like your soul, your heart within you is like strong where it's at right now, but when it comes to your mind or your headspace, it feels rejected. Yeah, it's having a hard time dealing with rejection. That's what I'm seeing. It's having a hard time dealing with rejection. It's having a hard time dealing with the disappointment of how things are unfolding. So your mind is reacting, but you're not the mind, you're a soul. And the soul being is eternally happy. So yeah, you're going to need to cultivate more discernment here. You're going to be more intentional about the notes here you're writing yourself. So it's like, okay, this girl got this rejection letter and she's not happy. She looks like she opened up something and she's like, wow, that really hurt my feelings. Like, I'm going to cry. But look, in this one, she's writing letters. She's got some crumpled up. And so Source is saying to be really intentional with what words you're using towards yourself and to understand whether it's helpful or not. So you're the one creating your reality through the words that you focus on, more importantly. Okay, let's go ahead and see what else wants to come through for you. Group number 3. Okay, we have here the central sun. Awesome. Abundance, downloads, regeneration, success. I got that for another group. I'm going to pull another one for you guys. Oh, there it is. We have here crystal skull, wisdom, clarity, divine healing, high vibrational energy. Yes, that's what I was actually picking up with the selenite heart. High vibrational. It's very high vibrational energy. Yeah, so what you're experiencing right now, wherever you're at in life, you're receiving abundance downloads. You're receiving the abundance downloads. You're regenerating. You're on a path of success here. It's written in the stars. You're on a path of success. But the struggle is that your mind is used to a certain idea and concept. So you're going through a huge, like, let's say like transition space. It's a big jump from here to there. And that jump, whenever we go through evolutions, it looks paradoxical on the earth. So no, you're not going to be granted like $1 million and get a castle on a mountain. And some people are like, oh, it's about karma. But it's actually quite simple. The path to divine is not based off of external success or worldly success. It's based off of internal success. It's based off of your relationship to yourself, essentially. So that's pretty much what life is all about. It's about learning how to have that relationship to yourself. And you're in the space where you're developing more clarity about that relationship to yourself, who and what you are, what you're capable of, and understanding that you're infinite and you're not, your infinite existence has nothing to do with your ability to manifest infinite resources. There's an infinite of resources that you already need that you're surrounded with or by here. So yeah, it might look a little opposite to what you're preferring here, but it looks like you're on a path of clarity and you're actually just getting tons of wisdom. So we get a lot of messages through pain. People don't understand that. Like, why do I have to experience pain? Some of the messages I've heard is like, oh, you don't have to suffer, but I haven't seen that. I don't know that that's true. Either we're witnessing someone suffer and then that, irks something inside of us, or we are suffering. And I don't know that power can be awakened unless there's a strong enough stab of disappointment in life that awakens it within us. And it was so interesting. I was watching a show and this guy was almost killed, basically. And it created PTSD for him to the point where, he wasn't sure if he wanted to live. And I'm laughing because that happens to all of us. We go through painful situations and we're like, dang, I don't know if I want to be here. And I just kept thinking to the guy, I'm like, you wanted to be alive before, just because your life was almost taken away. Now you don't want to be here. And yeah, that's exactly why we feel and experience so much pain, is because of of going through things that seemed so painful. And it's weird because at the time when we go through things, we survive it and then we get through it somehow, but then we start processing what we went through and suddenly we're like, dang, I don't even know if I want to be here. It's really hard. And Source is just telling you to push through. They want to show you what's happening, and they're saying great things are happening. Intuitive, vibrational, high vibrational energy is no joke. It is very intense, very powerful stuff. Oh, had that in there. Okay, let me go ahead and pull a few more cards for you guys. We have Lord, take charge with authority. Okay, there's the authoritative energy empowerment I was getting. They want you to be the assertive one right here. They want you to have confidence in yourself with the Sun. Have confidence in yourself. And I gotta say, that's really hard. Sometimes it's karmic for some people, depending on where you have your Sun in your chart, because part of the difficult thing of the spiritual journey is that you go on, usually we go on an ego death of some sort. And that's where our confidence is diminished. And then we have to, if we push through enough and we get through the other side, then we start to feel our confidence building up again and almost bouncing back. So what may be falling away is the attachment, the egoic structures are falling away. Because if there's anything that feels the pain, it's the ego. The ego has an idea of how things were or are supposed to be. And it was attached to that. And it's creating all these egoic mind-trapped structures that keep you thinking there's something wrong with you or things aren't the way they're supposed to be. That's the trap of the ego. When we can let go of that and discern, we realize that our being is not does not feel depressed or anxious about any of these experiences. It's simply observing. And the ego construct is a false construct. Whatever's falling away is just an illusion that you are attached to about yourself that has nothing to do with who you are. You are eternal. So anything that happens to you can't really hurt you at the core or at the root. Maybe things could end your life here, but, if you're sincere and you're on this pathway, I honestly feel like Source is going to try to find a way to give you an opportunity to live out your life choices and decisions. So if you use your discernment and you put yourself in those situations where you have a chance to work, people who truly are working on that deep work here, you're the group of people who are going to be given a chance to choose to live out your life, whereas other people who just keep, they're just stuck in those loop after egoic structure after egoic structure are stuck in the system. And then the system decides how their life gets to be lived. But Source is saying, you decide. You get to live your life. But you have to let go of the control, too. That's the tricky part. That's the thing about the Lord. The Lord technically would be kind of controlling. But this is where you tune into your inner authority, right? Sun is about your inner authority. Okay, let's go ahead and pull a couple more cards here. We have heart chakra affirmations. Love is my guiding truth in life. I give and receive love effortlessly and unconditionally. We have your throat chakra affirmations. I listen to my body and my feelings to know what my truth is. Yeah. So the tricky thing about emotions is they're not honest because they sway you towards one opinion or the other. And the truth is right in the middle. The truth is peaceful. It's quiet. It's not knocking on the door. It's not making all the noise. It's silent, honestly. And that's how you know it's the truth, because your body goes silent. If your body is in agony, it's responding in agony to something, that's probably because there's lies that your mind is whispering in response to using the egoic construct that it's used to. It's just responding to things that it doesn't like, and it's telling you things to keep you trapped. It's telling you all these things about this isn't working, you're a failure, this isn't going to work, that's not going to work, nobody cares about you. Like, that's what the mind, egoic construct with the mind is designed to do. And you have to exercise that discernment If you really want to, people say they want to know truth, but I'm like, if you want to know what the truth is, if you really want to understand what the truth is, then the first thing you need to acknowledge is what it feels like. And it's not emotional. You know, our mind is the emotional part that's reacting to the truth based off of, could be ancestral karma, DNA karma inside of you that's responding to things, traumatized. Could be past life karma that's responding, could be programming that's responding, but you are not responding to it. The being is not responding to the drama of life. The mind is. That's not you. So we just have to exercise discernment. I listen to my body and my feelings to know what my truth is. Heart chakra affirmations. Love is my guiding truth in life. There we go. Truth again. Love. Love is not emotional. I mean, people can choose to define it how they want. They're like, it's an action, it's this, it's a lot of confusing things that aren't really love, because what we've learned in this world is manipulation and control. Manipulation and control, we call it love. No, love is like peaceful. It's quiet. It's not possessive. It's not attachment. It's not romantic human romance. It's chemical romance with divine. It's that mitosis with divine. That is what true love is. Love is to evolve. It's to care about your own well-being and other people's well-being and to do what feels right. I give and receive love effortlessly and unconditionally. Yeah, so a lot of you are already doing love without even trying. Love doesn't require effort. But love doesn't require effort. The thing that, people are like, oh, it requires so much effort is an illusion. That's the construct. The world taught you that love was really hard, difficult, unattainable, whatever. That's why people are always in these weird dynamics with other people and situations and circumstances, because they're trying to find that love. And I'm like, you already had it. You never lost the love. It was already there with you. Okay. So we got 2 7s connected to divinity supporting you, and they're supporting your transition or your change or your evolution that you're going through right now with that 5. And love is to evolve. We're always evolving. It has to be a conscious choice. Okay, let's go ahead and... Did I roll this? I don't remember doing that. Roll the Astro Dice. Nice. Strong Leo coming out for these readings here. And sun energy is strong in these readings. We got double the sun. So this is definitely... They're telling you to be confident and speak confidently to yourself. Maybe do some affirmations here or journal here. I am. Or just do the I am meditation. I am. And just sit in the resonance and the silence of the I am. Because you are so infinite, so much, that it cannot be measured. Yeah, so right now is the time. Practical advice is to work on your confidence and work on confidently communicating to yourself with that throat chakra in a way that is helpful, healthful, and it's not taking you into this place of egoic authority where you're like, well, I'm better than everybody else. And it's like, whoa, you overcorrected. Back up a little bit. Get to the point where you're just like, I am. I'm good. I'm wonderful. I'm the supreme. Yeah, whatever feels natural for you as far as confidence goes. That, I'm not gonna lie, I have the my sun placement definitely makes it difficult for me to sometimes tune into that confidence. I have an inherent confidence that's there, especially when I'm connecting to this knowledge. It just flows. And I think that, okay, there you go. I think I'm just tuning into the advice. It just flows. That's how you know it's confidence. If you're ever feeling like, oh, I don't know, I feel insecure, that's not the truth. The idea of being insecure, we have our personhood. We have our personality that has a response to life. It's not who you are. But they're needing you to work on the confidence here, to reinforce that. To mantras, communication. What do you love? What feels really good for you? What feels really good for you to acknowledge? Yeah, so this is, you know, third house is just those day-to-day communications, how we're talking to ourselves on the day-to-day basis. That's helping us to step into our sense of, you know, even with that North Node, our Dharma, our life purpose here. Which, by the way, you are your purpose. Someone said that, oh no, that's ego. I'm like, no, you are the only purpose that actually exists. Everything else that we do is just stuff. You are the purpose existing. So keep working on that for yourself. Do everything that you feel like you need to do. I don't know if you need to do everything. Just do what feels right for you to step into your confidence, to be reminded that it's there. But yeah, I think these affirmations are on point. Love is my guiding truth in life. I give and receive love effortlessly and unconditionally. Yeah, so I think practical magic-wise, this could give you opportunities. Third house is like a hobby house, it's a communication house, community house as well. For you to find your community, for you to find alignment with your community, for you to find alignment with anything in communications, whether this is content creation or writing or whatever, like we were seeing that girl write. Anything around words right now would be really good for you to work on in building your confidence. Speaking confidently to yourself. I wanted to add as your final piece of advice, group number 3, is to be more firm with your yes and your no. Be very clear about your yes and your no, because you already have a strong sense for what is right for you, what feels right for you. Be more firm. And be more firm about that with yourself. Let's say you're wanting to, you need access to resources or something, and you're not sure, or you're feeling this doubt show up in your head about if it's going to happen or not. Instead of being worried and being like, no, there's no way it's going to happen, be more firm with yourself about that eternal optimism inside of you that trusts and says, whatever happens, it's going to be the right thing. Be more firm. Find that authoritative voice inside of you that is confident and it knows without a doubt that source is working through you and helping you find your way home, find your way to wherever it is that you need to go. Source wants you to speak like it does. It doesn't want you to be like, oh, you know, these are just divine messages that are coming to you and through you. No, speak as though you are source, the I am. Very much Morgan Freeman and Bruce Almighty. Morgan Freeman and everything he's done where he has the voice of God. It just comes with such clear authority and confidence, and it's peaceful, it's collaborative and loving. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, subscribe to support. I will see you next time. Bye.